Hey everybody, so today I wanted to talk about a pretty controversial topic, but also a very important topic that's very difficult to talk about, especially if your family has conflicting views and starts to shame you. But before I get started on the topic, I want to say that I am not a doctor, and whatever advice I give, I want you to first talk to your doctor about it first, because your doctor is more educated than I am and they know more than I do. So, the topic I want to talk about is working out or exercising when you're pregnant. So, the reason this topic is so controversial is because there's a lot of old wives' tales out there and a lot of things people didn't know about when women were pregnant, and they just wanted to keep the baby safe, which is fair, right? You want to keep the baby safe, you don't want to hurt the baby, and a lot of people want to be extra careful because you want to keep the baby safe. And there's also people who do have to abide by certain precautions because they're in a more risky pregnancy and things like that. So one of the common myths during pregnancy, and I've heard it from everywhere, friends, family, a lot of people put pressure on you to make sure you're doing the right thing. And it's very hard because you kind of just gotta do your own research and do what's best for you and talk to your doctor about what's best. But one of the things a lot of people say is you want to take it easy. Don't worry about exercising. Just take it easy. You could exercise when you're done being pregnant. And that's okay. And nothing's wrong with doing that, especially if you don't feel good. You don't have to work out all the time. But research does show that women who do keep active during pregnancy have shorter labors and they have an easier time giving birth. So putting your feet up, laying back, not really doing much is not really going to help you that much when it comes to labor and delivery. And although some women do need to do that, most women are fully capable of keeping up with a similar workout regimen or similar activity level that they had before they were pregnant. Another common myth that a lot of people talk about is that pregnant women should not do weights. So if you're working out, a lot of people say you should stick to cardio, you should stick to yoga and things like that. And I'll get into that in a minute, but actually when you're pregnant, it is safe for most women to lift weights. You can still lift weights. I've been lifting weights here and there because I just want to feel strong. I just want to stay strong. Am I lifting a crazy amount more than I used to? No. But am I still sticking to something that's on the moderate level for me? Yes. And actually for me, doing strength is a little bit easier, even though I grew up doing a lot of cardio, because the cardio still makes me feel a little bit nauseous, whereas doing a medium amount of weight is safe and it makes me feel healthy and strong because I don't have that nausea feeling, which a lot of you might have, which is terrible. And so doing weights, it can be a great alternative to doing cardio if you don't feel like you can do cardio right now. Actually, if you've been doing weights before, you're most likely to still be able to do weights. Now, something I want to talk about is a lot of people say cardio, yoga, swimming. So cardio, yoga, swimming is fine, but actually, one of the exercises you do really have to watch out for, which a lot of people don't think about, is yoga. The reason is when you're pregnant, your ligaments become more elastic and you might accidentally overstretch your ligaments when you're doing yoga. So you actually have to be very careful, more careful doing yoga than maybe even lifting weights, because your body's so much more pliable now, and you could actually hurt yourself by pulling a ligament, or a muscle or something like that. So one common rule that I find is probably safe for most women if you're deciding to continue working out when you're pregnant is you want to do something that you've done before. You don't like, say, you've always ran, then probably you can still run. But don't go try doing something crazy that you've never tried before when you weren't pregnant. Don't go try doing some crazy new exercise or whatever. You don't want to do that. A common rule is something that you've done for about maybe 10 years. 10 years before, it's generally safe. That's actually the rule that they have. 10 years before is generally safe to do. So I've been running for more than 10 years. I've been lifting weights for more than 10 years. So those two exercises for me that I've been doing almost regularly for 10 years are safe for me. It might not be safe for you or somebody else because maybe you haven't done running for 10 years or for an extended period of time. You don't want to start doing sprints or something if you've never done them before. It's not to say you can't do new workouts, but you have to be a lot more careful, and it's generally more safe to do workouts that you've regularly done for a long time, so it's not a shock to your body, because this is not the time to try to lose weight. This is not the time to do all these things. This is just the time to be healthy and feel strong and just continue on the healthy lifestyle. And one of the important things to remember about it is that when you're pregnant, think of back to caveman or ancient times. Women still had to farm and gather food when they were pregnant. They couldn't just stop working for 9 months or stop doing things for 9 months. So we are geared in our body to be able to do these things. So if you are pregnant, you can still do things if you feel physically able. So for me, I felt like I wanted to be able to do things, but for about 7 weeks, I literally couldn't do much because I felt so nauseous and so sick. So during the day, when I had about 5 minutes where I felt okay, I would do some push-ups or I would do some like squats or something simple body weight thing just so I could feel like I was doing something, even though it was just like maybe 10 squats, like a few times a day. At least I was doing something, even though I felt like I was gonna get sick like every hour of the day. So you can always still do something. And for the most part, unless your doctor tells you you can't, there are some women who have to be bedridden during pregnancy, and I feel for you. And there's a lot of like, that's really hard. So if you are one of those people, there is still something you can do, which is right up here. You want to use your mind to visualize yourself working out or visualize yourself just being strong, because the mind is actually a powerful thing. And a lot of athletes who've been out because of injuries for months and months and came back, and they came back strong because they used the power of visualization. So don't worry if you're unable to do something, but if you are able to do something, try talking to your doctor and see what it is you can be able to do, because most women will be able to do something to stay strong and healthy during pregnancy. And don't try not to get so mad at people, especially family members who give you advice, because there's a lot of old wives' tales out there, or maybe they had their own experience with pregnancy that they weren't able to do some of these things. But like, there's some people who told me I couldn't do certain things. You don't want to do anything where there's like high impact, where you're like high impact on the fetus or whatever. You don't want to do that kind of stuff, okay? So even if you've been boxing for years, for 10 years, you don't want to like go into a sparring match or something. Obviously, you don't want to do that. But there's some myths out there that still for some reason last till today. For example, like someone told me bike riding is not good because my legs are too far spread out and the baby's gonna fall out. And I don't know, that's just a weird example, but it's not true. And you want to look up all these things people say. Not all of them are true. Obviously there's a risk if you fall bike riding. You don't want to do that, but the fetus is not gonna just fall out. So So, like I said, talk to your doctor about what's safe for you. And I know obviously you want to protect the baby and everything like that, but remember that it's likely that it is safe for you to work out during pregnancy and can actually be healthier for you because you'll keep your blood pressure lower and you'll be able to just probably have a quicker and less strenuous labor. So, yeah. So, if anybody has any other questions or advice, comment below. I don't know everything. Please don't give crazy advice that you didn't research because that just scares people. But if you have any advice about how to keep working out during pregnancy, go ahead and comment below. Thanks for watching. Bye.